okay? When those honeydews pile up, let me tell you something, gentlemen. You do those honeydews, okay? Because that honeydew is like a command. It's not honey do this, honey do this, okay? Not will you do, just do this, and take it like that. Believe me, you're going to have a much happier married life, okay? And I am happily married, let me tell you. Anyway, getting back to serious business here again. What happens if they don't know what this is? Give them a little time to do that. You're not going to lose anything. They've already accepted your offer. You're the only one that can cancel that. You've got their signature. They've got your paperwork, including your money on account order, which is a valid, lawful transaction. It's money on account. That's what money on account stands for. MOA stands for money on account. It doesn't say money in account. It says money on account. There's no money in your checking account right now. It's money on your checking account. Why? It's numbers put on a screen. If I give you a check and you take that check to your bank and I give you a check for $1,000, they're going to show on your side of that screen that $1,000 was added to your account. There was no money put into that account. It was my check that they put in there. Well, as far as you know, that's constitutional money, so you treat it as constitutional money. You don't have to write on the back of my check. That's my check. I gave it to you. I'm dealing in constitutional money, and so are you. Here's the problem. They barter it away. Okay, so what they do is they turn around and they take my $1,000 check. They give you credit on your account for $1,000. But they took $10,000 because they factored it times 10, and they put $9,000 into their own bank. And every bank has its own bank account at that branch. Every single bank. You got all kinds of B of A's, but every single branch has their own branch bank account. That's how they pay their employees and pay the light bill and so on, okay? So they have their own bank account. So what happened? They put that $9,000, if you don't see, in their account so that they can turn around and loan that to that next person over here or that one over here at a much higher interest rate. But you got the $1,000 reflecting on your account. Now that's constitutional money. You put it in there as being constitutional money because it was in the form of a check. My check is constitutional money. So that's how you put it in there, and they turn around and factor it away. See, all these little banking tricks are other things that people don't understand. And in fact, the matter is, legally, they can multiply that deposit times 33 times what you write the check for, okay? So if you write a check for $1, they can take $33, give you $1, and take the other 32 and put in their account. Now, the larger the amount of money, the smaller that they can factor it. They can't just turn around and factor 33 times a $10,000 check. It ain't going to work. And the Federal Reserve, who underwrites them, would not allow it in the first place. But that's neither here nor there. That's another topic. Let's go back to where we are with this settlement here and driving off with that vehicle. So the first thing you're going to ask that salesman for when they are getting ready to give you that vehicle is you're going to ask them for the manufacturer's source of origin. That's the first thing. You haven't signed any power of attorney. You've signed only a bill of sale after he signed it. He first signed it. So that puts you in the driver's seat and him in the passenger seat. He's along for the ride now. It's your contract. All right, now. The moment you do that and you ask for the MSO, they're going to balk at that too, but they have no choice because you haven't signed a power of attorney to allow them to remove that. You're going to want the owner's manual. Well, they got to put the MSO back in the owner's manual because every owner's manual has a little plastic folder in there where the MSO goes and it's put there by the manufacturer, whether it's Ford, Chrysler, or whoever, don't matter. It's all the same. Same thing that we had to do with our trailer, the Frisco trailer. Now, having said that, The next thing you want besides that is you want the owner's manual, because that tells you how to maintain what you just purchased, all right? The third thing you want is you want all 3 sets of keys, not just 2, not just one for you and your wife, but you want the set that they normally send with your MSO to the Department of Motor Vehicles to prove that they own the vehicle and they don't have to get a court order to come and collect it, okay? Because if you're making payments on it, they can just come and collect the vehicle for your non-payment. And they don't need to break into it. It's their vehicle. They got a set of keys. They'll just come and drive off with it in the middle of the night or early morning. But nonetheless, that's how it's done. Then there's one final thing you want, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the vehicle itself. Now, they're going to want to put something on your window that it's a new vehicle. You don't want anything on it, nothing. You don't want to put no paper plate on the back, on the window, or nothing else. They have no right to touch that vehicle once you have that MSO. It's your vehicle, okay? So when you drive off with that vehicle, of course, you're going to want the insurance and all these kind of
A
things.
participant has joined the
We're going to
meeting.
be talking about the self-insurance again, and I'm going to take and lead people through the self-insurance because obviously this has been a very confusing thing for an awful lot of people. You can't believe the number of emails that I got. In fact, today, Alan, after you called me and I opened my email, I'd had 125 emails. 125 emails. Out of that 125 emails, 25 of them were for people sitting right here, right now. Okay? I don't mind having the emails, except I don't have a secretary, and I would much rather you don't send me the emails. We have the law class here, and if you want to send the emails and ask questions, send them off to Anna, and I believe she now has a helper. I pray that's true, Anna. Is that so? Hello, Anna? Maybe you're not here. Anyway, the point is that if you'll
A
send it to
participant
them,
has left the
you will
meeting.
find that a lot of your questions are being asked by others, the same question. That way, when I send that response out and it gets out to everybody, the question, everybody has the answer to your question. They have your question and the answer. So let's say you have one and Ava has another and so on, okay? But the point is, the question and the answer is going to be sent, and everybody will be copied with that. Everybody that is in this law class will be copied with that. So you can see the question asked, and maybe you didn't think about that question, but hey, that's a good question. So now you've got the answer to what you had anticipated as well, okay? So that's the reason why I would much rather you do it that way, and because when you send that to Alan or Anna, they always send everything to me. They forward everything. They're very good about that. I don't even know how they do it. I don't know how they can keep up with all that. I'm one person. I get 125. They must get 2 or 3 times that every day. But at any rate, I can't keep up with that. And I can't do justice to any of you that way. This is why I want to take my time and answer your questions, because when you ask your question, I want you to get the answer. I need you to have the answer.